Today we're going to be reading part of a chapter book called Alvin Ho, Book 1. This book, if you haven't read it yet, is about a boy named Alvin Ho who lives in Massachusetts and is afraid of everything. And he gets into a lot of silly um, scenarios, predicaments, problems that he has to try and work his way out of. And in this chapter, which is chapter 3, we're going to read part of it. Alvin is going to his brother Calvin for some advice on how to make friends when he goes to school because he is afraid. So we're going to join in on this chapter. And remember, we're thinking about vocabulary words, tier 2 level words that we can find on the page in a black level, which is a 4th grade level book. There's usually 4 or 5 words that you're going to see on a page that you would want to add to your vocabulary that you don't use every day. And I'm going to find one on this page after I'm done reading it. So let's start. But even better, Calvin seemed like he was now in a talking mood. So I gave him the bad news. Calvin's rules for making friends isn't going to work for me, I said. I can't do anything on the list on account of I can't even say hello. Got any other ideas? Said Calvin, his marker in midair. Are the other boys in your class bigger than you? Mostly, I said, but Pinky is bigger than everyone. Sometimes it helps if a friend is the same size as you, said Calvin. Then you don't have to say anything. How come? I asked. I don't know, said Calvin. That's just the way it works. Then Calvin went over to the computer, typed, and clicked. Stretching exercises for accelerated growth flashed across the screen. See results in 5 minutes. Amazing results fast. There were all sorts of diagrams and instructions on how to grow a few inches. Now, before I turn to the next page, I want to think on this page, what are some words that I don't use every day, a tier 2 level word? And one of the words that I thought about is the word accelerated right here. And so I'm going to highlight the word accelerated, and I would use that if I'm keeping a log of words that help me to grow as a reader. That's a word that I would use. And I'm going to reread this sentence and look for some context clues to help me understand what accelerated might mean. Stretching exercises for accelerated growth flashed across the screen. See results in 5 minutes. Amazing results fast. So as I read those two sentences, I see the word fast. Amazing results fast. And I think accelerated has something to do with being fast. And then see results in 5 minutes. And I'm going to use my own knowledge that if Alvin is trying to grow, it takes a long time to grow a couple of inches. So if he's trying to accelerate his growth, he's trying to make his growth go faster than normal, to make it speed up. So my best guess for a synonym for accelerated would be fast. All right, I'm going to click to the next page, and it's going to be your turn to try on a word that I select. So the last 2 words on this page 18 says, it was perfect. He printed a few pages and we hurried outside to the backyard with them. Summer wasn't quite over, but fall was already showing off with pretty leaves. Butter, cinnamon, orange, and burnt toast colored. The leaves looked like fireworks exploding in the golden afternoon light, and Annabelle was singing under them. La 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 la. Annabelle sang, la 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 la. Annabelle was digging holes, one of our favorite things to do. Her holes were not as good as mine. They weren't really even holes, just dimples. But she sure loved digging them. La 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 la, she sang like a little bird. The garden hose was in one hand, and one of my carved sticks was in the other. I ran over. I nearly almost gave her a thumping, but I didn't. I remembered just in the nick of time that I am a gentleman. My dad taught me and Calvin the rules of being a gentleman. I'm going to stop there and I am going to ask you to give me your best guess about what the word that I highlight is. And this word is thumping. So it is now your turn. Tell me what thumping means. All right, now that you gave your best guess about what thumping means, let's continue reading on page 20. We're going to start with the last word on page 19. It says, my dad taught me and Calvin the rules of being a gentleman. Rule number 1, no hitting, especially girls, unfortunately. If I remember only one rule, it should be this, my dad said, and if I forget it, I will not be a man, but a mushroom. Being a man would be a lot easier if Annabelle didn't mess with my things, eat my food, drink my chocolate milk, or get in my way. Annabelle, I said breathless, that stick's been carved and it's not for digging. It's only for robbery and mayhem. Yep, said Annabelle. She stopped. She looked at the stick. My dad had shown me how to use a knife to take off the bark so that it would be smooth. I had a rare collection of these sticks against the back fence. And it's good for digging, Annabelle said. Try it. And so I did. And so did Calvin. He digs better than anybody. He is a regular backhoe. Someday he could become the world's best hole digger. Dirt flew. Water gushed. It was great. All right, it's now your turn. You may want to pause the video in just a second to find a word on this page that you can give your best definition for. And make sure the word that you pick is a word you don't use every day, and give your best definition for it. I saw at least 4 or 5 words on this page that I don't use every day, but I can use context clues to figure out the definition. So good luck, and I look forward to seeing your response.